Thank you very much for the introduction. Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to start by telling you who we are. TAF Africa Global, that's the name of our company. We're a real estate company. We're developers, which was established in 1990, 35 years ago. We started as a construction company, doing bespoke individual buildings, bonded warehouses, and individual contracts. Then in 1998, we established a holding company, went into the building materials business, hospitality. We had a hotel one time. Then a few years down the line, we went Pan-African. Went into Nigeria, registered now in 9 African countries, and we're currently active in the Gambia right now, Nigeria, and most recently in Sierra Leone. We launched a vision in 2018 to deliver 1 million homes across Africa. Our model really is that we land bank. So we go on the outskirts of the busy cities, that's where normally land is available, really. So we build cities now. We don't build just residential estates anymore. The ones that we have right now, currently, green master plan smart cities, with a live, work, and play concept, is in the Gambia with 5,000 units on a 500-hectare piece of land, which is twice the size of Banjul. Banjul is our capital city. Then Sierra Leone, we have 5,000 units, a PPP with the Sierra Leonean government. And in Nigeria, our biggest project so far, 20,000 homes, also a PPP with the River State government. This is our second one, by the way. The first one was completed 1,000 units a few years ago. Our house designs exactly what we do in order to make it affordable. We have standardized 3 main designs of our houses across these 3 projects. So we have the 2 bedrooms, and by the way, the selling price is between $60,000 to $200,000 on different plots of land. So people have the option, if you want bigger land, you can buy in multiples. You can get different designs on different plots of land. And those are options that we have for our clients, all just to make it more affordable. We have the 2 bedrooms, which are designed to be between 49 square meters to 68 square meters, built-up area. We have the 3 bedrooms, which are between 75 square meters to 133 square meters. And these are bungalows, by the way. Then we have the 4 bedrooms. We have some bungalows starting from 133 square meters to 176 duplexes. We also have this concept of naming all our designs, the models, after women. And in each country, it would be the most popular local lady names. And we also have this product where it's called the service plots. So it's empty land in case you just can't afford a house, a built house. Service, and there's a range of sizes that you can choose from, starting from 220 square meters to up to 500 square meters. We have standard and non-standard plots. And we also even have options of fenced and unfenced. which also makes it a bit more affordable if it's on fence. Another part of our business is property management. So when investors buy into our product, we can manage it for you. So we rent it out. We have a department that rents, markets, and you get your return. So where we are right now in our company, we're transitioning to the second generation. So my father founded this company in 1990, 35 years ago. And he's a father of 5 girls. So typically, typically you would think that the sons will take this over since it's real estate. But 2 of us are working very hard to take it to the next level. Thank you. By modernizing it a bit more, I'm not saying it's old-fashioned. The team, you know, the TAF Africa team is a young team, average 30 years. We're female-dominated. 70% of management are ladies. And you can find us in the technical team, management, all over, property management. We're running it. It's really something I'm very proud of. We also are very Pan-African focused. Our technical team is very multinational. We have from the technical team from Benin, Nigeria, Sierra Leone, Senegal, Guinea. Something else that we're very proud of. We're also very focused on the green aspects of our projects, the impact we leave on these communities. When we launched the 1 million homes, we launched the 5 million trees initiative. Up to last month, we doubled that to 10,000, 10 million trees. That means for every house we build, we will plant 10 trees. We've also partnered with Permian Health Lung Institute, the Africans in the US. They've installed air quality monitors in each and every one of our projects in the Gambia. Technology-wise, we have a facilities management department where we have an app. We have a TAF City app. Access control is controlled from that app by all the residents. There's a reporting mechanism for any snags you have within the house. And then it's also an easy way to communicate with the facilities management team. And then social media. That's my father and my MD's forte. Those who know him will be getting his Monday motivation messages that come in every Monday. And he's very heavy on social media. But it's really been our strength lately with marketing, posting progress updates, even surveys. When we're starting new projects, that's where we get most of our data from. So going into the subject matter quickly, blended finance and piecing together unconventional funds for African homes. Across Africa, one question defines the housing conversation. Where will the money come from? We face a housing deficit of over 50 million units, yet access to traditional finance remains painfully limited. Mortgages reach only a fraction of households, and developers often face high borrowing costs and long funding delays. Our clients have options to take out a 10-year mortgage in the Gambia with 3 of our local commercial banks we have partnered with. However, interest rates are significantly high, and the tenor is just too short to be affordable. But what is the solution? If the solution isn't waiting in banks or donor funds, what if the right what if it's right in front of us, in our customers? At TAF Africa Global, we've learned to look at homeowners not just as clients, but as partners in development. We sell off-plan homes. We use customers' down payments and stage installments to finance construction. In other words, our buyers' trust becomes our working capital. Their commitment, made before the foundation is poured, allows us to break ground and manage cash flow and deliver homes faster and more affordable. We have two types of payment plans that we offer to our clients that are not the usual mortgage. The stage payment plan, which is interest-free, where the customers would pay 50% as down payment, then 20% when we get to lintel, 20% a roof, and then 10% upon completion of the house before we hand over. Then we have the 2 years interest-free payment plan, where the customers pay 25% as down payment, and then the balance over 2 years on a monthly or quarterly installment, interest-free too. We also have the 3 years payment plan on our service plots. These service plots are really targeted for the informal sector. You know, us Africans with our susus, we've seen a huge number of people coming in with susus to contribute towards monthly, towards a service plot. So they only need 10% as down payment, and the balance can be spread over 3 years max. If you pay it up shorter, better for you because you access the land earlier. So this is our capital stack, a model that begins with, not with institutions, but with people. It works this way. Customers' deposits form the base layer of funding. Developers' equity and short-term commercial debt covers land and pre-construction costs. This approach works in Africa because it aligns with how people actually live and earn. It bridges the affordability gap by spreading payments across time while reducing reliability on expensive debt. And when managed with clear communication and escrow-backed safeguards, it builds trust instead of risk. In short, it democratizes development. It turns aspiring homeowners into co-investors, citizens financing the very homes that they will one day live in. In conclusion, solving the capital stack puzzle doesn't always mean waiting for global investors. It means recognizing that the most powerful source of capital is local trust, and designing systems that protect, multiply, and reward it. When developers, financiers, and buyers each take their place in the stack, homes stop being dreams. They become assets, communities, and building blocks of Africa's future. I would like to now hand over to my able MD to speak on the model we have in TAF Salone, which is in Sierra Leone, and Greater TAF City in Port Harcourt, Nigeria. Thank you.
Time for storytelling. Time for storytelling. So I think, ladies and gentlemen, definitely it is time to retire. Won't you agree with me? Time to retire. I mean, yesterday at the AGM, I said that when I started, coming to conferences some 30 years ago, I used to be referred to as that young man. And today when I come in, they'll call me Uncle Taf. But Kessia, I promise you, I'll be around until they call me Grandpa Taf. So I think, well done, Bajen. I mean, that's a good test. When we were flying in, she told me, Daddy, you know what? This is the first time I'm getting out of West Africa. So we're in a transition, having to have a succession plan. This is an African issue, so I will not go too much in these things. But there are lessons to learn. That as Africans, when we start our journey in business. These days, not only in business, even in politics, we don't want to move away. So we want to prove a point that yes, I started this business 35 years ago, but when it's time to give way, you have to. I mean, so we're in the process of handing over the baton, and it must be done smoothly. So now, generally, I mean, I love telling stories, so I'm not going to come here with my iPad and give you a Harvard, business school presentation as she did. I was born a disruptor. Left high school at the age of 18. Instead of going to university, I told dad and mom I was the first boy, 2 boys only. And I said, I'm not interested in formal education. What do you want to do? I want to be a carpenter. So 50 years ago, I started working, and here I am today. 50 years ago. We had an argument yesterday with the lady from NMRC, of how Africa needs to address the young population, this Gen Z, on giving them hard skills. That's what this continent needs. So I am a proven example of somebody who disrupted. And in housing, you need to disrupt. So I'll just take it from there and now bring it into fixing the puzzle, housing. I just want to flip through you can flip through the projects we are doing. You can just flip it through. So we always want to disrupt. I want you guys to have some takeaways and advice from somebody who has worked for 50 years and have done business for 35 years across 3 countries, registered in 9, traveled to 38 African countries. I have succeeded in being financed by Shelter Afrique since 1998, 3 times. You're clapping, but I want the young developers to take this away, that don't ever start your business by looking for financing. Don't ever go to the bank. The financiers will only give you an umbrella when the sun is shining, never when it's raining. So I want that to be a takeaway. And those are lessons learned. We have had projects that we made huge projections that ended up in the negative because all the money went to the bank. Cost of money. So what do we do now? First, our model is that we engage state governments. In Nigeria and in Port Harcourt, we tell them to contribute the land. So we are on PPPs. A special purpose vehicle is set up. So in Sierra Leone, we've been given already 100, alone micro city, 200 units. In the second project, we're giving 1,000 hectares. Because this is long term. We're trying to deliver 1 million homes. At first we said 20 years, but we have just realized that, look, it's too short. So we're now aligning it with Agenda 2063 of the African Union. So, but it's doable. So first, Sierra Leone was the first one we went in, after Gambia. Gambia is all private, as Bajen said. We bought the land, because government didn't want to give us land. Remember, the Gambia is only 11,500 square kilometers. So we're very small. So we bought the land. And then the policy is that we always want to go a minimum of an hour's drive away from the urban area. And we now build our own city. That's why we build our own city. So it's now getting people to come around on a leave, walk, and play. So it's the same thing in Sierra Leone. We are 1 hour away from Sierra Leone. We are in John Obey. I mean, you'll see some of the pictures up there. And then in Nigeria, in Port Harcourt, we are close to the airport. Again, away from somewhere that was seen as where you will only find crime. Today, everybody is rushing there because we are there. So what we have been able to do is first to establish a relationship with government where we say, look, bring in the land so we don't have to buy the land. And then there can be conditions. Now, that is all, again, translated into equity. Most of the time, nothing more than 20%. So we take the risk together. If you want to house your people, they are your people. It's a political issue. So you contribute the land, and then we give you 20% of the business. So don't start putting a value on that land. That's the biggest mistake you can make. Remember, you have a responsibility to put a roof over your citizens. Then I am a developer, and the formula for development is cost plus margin. I am in the private sector. I'm not an NGO. So we have to buy cement, roads, formwork, you name it, and then plus our margin to survive, and that's the cost. So therefore, we cannot buy affordable cement. We cannot buy affordable roads. So then we put in the price, lower our margin, and then sell it. Now again, you have to remember that there is no two countries that are the same in Africa. Socially, they are different. So I'll just move fast to what I call the most successful, which is really in Nigeria. I am a believer that for Africa, we need to look at carcasses. Well, I'm sorry, in Nigeria, carcass is accepted, but maybe in the US, no. It's semi-finished houses. If you want to really flood the market with houses, don't start going into finishes, because most of those are imported out of the continent. And then you have to pay taxes, transportation, and that's where really the money is. So what we do, once the land is given, we make sure that we give you good infrastructure. All the roads, like what you see now, everything that you see here was done 18 months ago. To date, there are 1,000 units already developed within 18 months. Then what we do, we create an ecosystem. Because remember, there are small-time, SMEs who will come in, tilers, window fixers, plumbers. They will now form their ecosystem, and they will now be finishing the houses. So that's what we do on conventional funding. We don't go to banks. On all these three projects, we haven't borrowed. Obviously, we've built a brand. So again, for young developers, I see this very often. People come to us, oh no, how can I do X, Y, and Z? I say, go and work. If you work, save money. When you save money, start by taking one step at a time. Life is more of a set of stairs than an elevator. So those are the things that we see these days. So therefore, let me wrap up. If you want to talk to us, the easiest, as Bajen says, just Google up my name, Mustapha Njie on any social media account. I have over 600,000 followers, and that's how I communicate. As I talk to you now, we are live on Facebook. We don't miss any chance because we have our followers, and that's the way we market ourselves. Thank you very much, and God bless you all.